for change. So as far as leadership and people stepping up, it's literally somebody saying, hey, but we have to be able to have the ability to get the police department to come to the table, the mayor to come to the table. We have to be able to get them to do
Well,
that.
I think they're coming
And
to
that
the
would,
table.
that
Somebody's
would
at the table now. I don't know who it is.
But
It must not be the right people. It may not be.
Well, so this is the thing, right? So they will come to the table for as long as they feel like we have that get along mentality. You know, go along, get along. Kind of, yeah, let's just all get along. Yeah, and anytime they feel like that mentality is not present, they don't want to talk.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? Yeah. So that go along, get along mentality, if we go by actual factual, to this day, right now, in this moment, that go along, get along is not working. And it has not worked. And it will not work. We put enough time in.
And nothing comes out of that.
No. So demands have to be made. Common ground can be possibly built from that. But the demands have to be very clear, very concise, and worded to the point. You know what I mean? It can't be we want maybe some of this. It has to be we want this. Now, defunding obviously is number one on the list. And defunding doesn't mean dismantling. Although in cases like Rampart and Ferguson, those police departments had to be dismantled, which they were. And that just is a testament.
So where's it at today in those areas where it was defunded? Did they start another department, or did they?
Yes. So what they did was they divided those particular police areas amongst the surrounding cities. So Rampart, from the time they dismantled it, most of those officers went to prison. I don't know if you're aware about Rampart, but that's a much longer story that we won't get into right now. Anyway, you can do the research on the Rampart division. They shut that police department down. Since then, crime has gone down. Ferguson, same thing. They shut that police department down.
So when they shut it down, so all those police
the community police themselves. Yes, they totally closed the station.
Station down.
They
and sent them to another
the ones that weren't involved in any wrongdoing or they had multiple write-ups, disciplinary issues.
So it came back to what, like we do.
Yes, sir.
The ambassadors run it now.
Community police.
We decide.
Yes.
Right. So if we say it's all right to dance, to be out there.
Right. And so as an ambassador, you already know diplomacy, I'm still learning that. So you can't have a mindset. Ambassadors, you guys, you can't see anything wrong with it.
No,
because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just expression. This is a lot of frustration. This is our generation behind me specifically that has way less than I even had. You know, I went to high school. I went to all of this. I didn't go because my family had money. I got scholarships. You know what I mean? I did. I grew up in Louisiana on a dirt road. You understand what I'm saying? You know how that.
You came all the way through.
Yeah. But it wasn't because of any type of privilege or anything. I've been arrested. I've been in jail. I've been, even in Portland, I had a police officer with his boot on my head, pardon me. Even in Portland, you know what I mean? In Seattle, my vehicle right now, I got 6 bullet holes in my car. They got caught up in the middle of a gun battle.
You mean this stuff I'm running? So when they defund those police departments,
yes,
then they defunded, so that means they shut the police department down.
No, so
they sent them like to other.
Those particular police departments, they didn't defund them; they dismantled them, which means they stopped existing. So what they did was they closed those entire departments down. They reassigned people who were able to be reassigned that didn't have disciplinary issues or outright charges against them. With Rampart, you had about 30% of that police department itself, the officers, do prison time for murders and planting evidence. And there's a movie about Rampart. There is an actual movie about it, but the real factual is way worse than the movie. So you can look that up.
But what about
Ferguson Police Department, the city council voted to
close it down.
Yes. And
So who took over taking care of that?
So what they did was the surrounding cities, they assigned each city certain areas to police. Ferguson.
So one city may take care of
Right.
one side.
Right.
And what the crime goes down, the police
crime rate went
relationship.
down with the less police presence, the less.
Did it?
So the community.
Community. So the community.
Yes. And there were
Was they
ambassadors as yourself that
They
were involved
empowered.
in that, and they still are. And yes,
So they kind of running it.
yes.
That's just
It's a community thing. There's no one individual running.
community.
So
Just
yeah.
like we know Mr. in the neighborhood,
Right.
Mr. Joe, Mr. Frank, they decide what time we get off the phone. So it's a group of the community that makes the decision of policing.
Right.
Yes.
And so the thing is about having leaders or a leader, you're definitely going to be a target. So there's a lot of caution nowadays, even with the Black Lives Matter movement. That's why there's no concrete and mortar foundation. There's no one person that you can point to within the movement to say that person is a leader, because what the government does is they start off arresting you and then they end up killing you, which is the blueprint that we do know to be 100% true. Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, you know what I mean? It goes on and on and on. You understand? Huey Newton. I mean, the Black Panthers are the reason why we have the Women and Children's, the WIC program, where women and infants can get milk to sustain.
Yeah.
That came from the Black Panther Party. But you understand, they called them a terrorist organization. He was murdered. They killed everybody in that apartment. The police kicked the door in and killed everybody in the apartment. Killed everybody. It's like 8 people. They massacred to kill Huey Newton.
So when y'all leave Washington, what's the next thing after Washington?
We're going back to Portland, where it's still going on in Portland, and then we're going to do. This will be my second time flying for 501(c). So we're going to establish a nonprofit in Portland, and we're going to call it For the People United or Louisville. I haven't decided.
Well, listen, you got mine.
Yes,
You got
I
mine.
do. I have your card. Right
Okay.
here. Yes, sir. All right, Bishop. Thank you. All right now.